My prayer to him is Psalm 40, and it's about, I cried out to the Lord, and he turned to me. He heard my cry and lifted me out of the slimy pit, and that's exactly what he did. This is just a little card that somebody sent me while I was up there. The devil whispered in my ear, "You're not strong enough." I'll talk about that later. Well, my name's Adrie Groeneweg, and this is my story. Grew up in a Christian family, went to a Christian grade school, high school, was not a believer. I believed in God, I just didn't trust in God. And then at the age of 32, I went to a Promise Keepers event and was born again. You know, back then, I loved to drink, I loved to party, I loved to, it was a way of my life. And when I gave my life to Christ, everything changed, and I stopped drinking, I stopped partying, I even quit smoking. Yeah, life goes, and I'm 15 years sober without a drink and very happy, never even thinking I would have another drink again. And then there was a couple circumstances in life that all of a sudden I got extremely disappointed with God. I wasn't angry, just extremely disappointed in how God was doing some things in my life. And one afternoon, I went to the convenience store and bought a six-pack. Came home and my wife said, "You've been drinking?" I said, "Yeah, I have." And I broke down and I couldn't believe it. Gradually, I drank more and more and more and realized I was having a problem. And then the last 2 years of my life, it was, that's all I wanted to do. I got to a point where I didn't care about anything. I didn't care about my wife. I didn't care about my business. I just cared about myself. You become very selfish, very, and you don't even realize it at the time. It's like, but it became extreme. So I prayed this prayer numerous times. God, I don't really want to stop drinking. In fact, I love to drink, but I know something needs to change. And God heard my prayer, even though it wasn't loud and it was a selfish prayer. And a couple things happened in 1 year's time. And I got arrested for DUI in October, a year ago, October 4. In the morning I got out, I went home and I met with, my wife, told her, I was arrested and I was ready to quit drinking. And we found a place in Arizona that I could go to for 6 weeks, and it changed my life. Okay, this is my shelf that I remind myself of. It's my treatment shelf. Everything on this shelf reminds me of the 6 weeks I was gone. And my camel here is when you're dry for so many days, you get a camel to say, because camels don't drink much, and that's a good way to show you're dry. You get an apartment when you're there, and you live with, I had two roommates, and I haven't had a roommate forever, but this is my key to my number 10. The thing that amazed me most of these people didn't know who God was, and a lot of them didn't want anything to do with God, but I seen it over and over again where God was pursuing these people, including myself. And it's just like I realized how much God loves me, how much God loves everybody. God is willing to do to get us to open our eyes to who He is. I mean, He knows who we are, He knows we're sinners, He knows we're weak, but yet He wants us. People ask me, "Well, how are you doing?" I'm doing great. I can't even imagine. People are just happy where I'm at today. But it's an amazing story. My life, I really don't think I'd be alive today if I wouldn't have stopped drinking that night. One day he woke up and understood learning to love himself was the most important next step on his journey. It's a journey where, you realize that God never leaves you, and He's always pursuing you. And that day when I woke up in jail, I knew, this is God's way of waking me up. I didn't feel abandoned or anything. If anything, I felt like, oh, he saved my life by this. Now I think I can read the rest of this too, but you're not strong enough to withstand the storm. That's, the devil whispered in your ears. And then today, I whispered back, I am the storm. So, yeah.